Hi, I'm Maureen Meehan. I formerly went by the name of Maureen Meehan Applin when I crafted these novels. So the first one I crafted was Dying to Ski. Dying to Ski is set in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it is about two co-founders of a pharmaceutical company, and one of them ends up dead on the ski slopes of Jackson Hole. And initially they thought he just had a ski accident, but it turns out he was deliberately poisoned. And the novel follows several suspects around the globe to Bali back, and we ultimately find out who wanted Preston dead. My second book, Snake River Secret, is actually based on a somewhat tragic story in my life. My legal secretary was murdered back in 1996, and I was really devastated about it because it was her estranged husband who murdered her, and it was foreseeable and preventable. So that Mary McIntosh is my protagonist, but I based it off keeping Lisa alive in my life. So in this book, the legal secretary, Layla, who is a Shoshone Indian, ends up being found in the Snake River, and she's been murdered. And what Mac does is to figure out who wanted her dead and why. It's pretty intriguing. It involves illegal drugs, including what I envisioned at the time was a Botox injection, and one of my proudest works. The next work is Powder River Poison. This is based on a true story of Buck Brannaman, which his name in the book is Butch Anderson. He owns a large ranch outside of my hometown of Sheridan, Wyoming. And he is known as, globally, as the horse whisperer. He trains horses on a high-end scale. There was a movie made about it called The Horse Whisperer. But this case is regarding his ranch in Wyoming, where a methane gas company came in and bought the mineral rights under his property, which you can do in some states. And they drilled and did the fracking, and it basically ruined his business. And it's the lawsuit as a result of it, and Mac is involved in that litigation. The fourth book is Pandemic Predator. This is something I wrote in the mid-2000s about a serial killer who goes around the globe purposefully infecting women with the H5N1 bird flu virus, which spreads all over the world and shuts down the globe. Long before COVID, so a little bit bizarre, but true. The fifth book I don't have in print. My fifth and sixth books I did not put to print. And that one of them is called The Five. And The Five is based on my cabin in Colorado that we go to every summer. I've gone to my whole life. And I was supposed to have a girls' weekend there with my college roommates, and nobody showed up. So I bring Chandler Craig there, who is a serial killer based on a true story in Rhode Island. Certain states have a law that no matter what you do, age 21, you get released from juvenile detention. And this, in fact, happened to this individual. He comes to Wyoming, and he creates havoc. He threatens each woman with the statements, these 5 college roommates, that one of your husbands hired me to kill you. You guys have to figure out who it is. So they kind of are pitted against each other trying to figure this out. And then my sixth book is Poison by Proxy. It's a Munchausen by Proxy case about an upstanding couple in Sheridan, Wyoming. Dad's a doctor. Mom is the, pivotal society woman. And their youngest child has failure to thrive, always has some illness. And it's believed, the police are investigating it thinking she's Munchausen by proxy. And there's a twist and turn along the way. Think of the movie The Sixth Sense. And that is that sixth book. Recently, within this year, I crafted a book called 60 Dates in 6 Months with a Broken Neck. And it's true. In the last 6 months, I finally gone back into the dating world after my husband passed away 10 years ago. And I took copious notes about all these gentlemen, because you have to keep it straight. It's a numbers game. And I would go on these coffee dates or hiking dates and come back and write commentary and give them each a nickname because these are my bad dates. Are horrible. People just do the dangest things in this dating world. And I'm on a couple different dating apps, and it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Horrible dates. And so I was talking with a girlfriend about it and sharing some of my nicknames, and we were laughing over dinner. And all of a sudden the light bulb went on that this would be a funny satire. So, and in January I did fall and break my neck in my kitchen. So 2 days after coming home from the ICU, I have a date at my house. He comes to me because I can't drive. And it was a terrible date because on the third date he stood me up. And I have given everyone these nicknames. His is all dressed up and nowhere to go. And I have Goodbye Coffee, who this gentleman, maybe should be a priest, invited me for coffee to say he couldn't date me because I'm intimidating, because I did the Iron Man in 1992. And I chuckled to myself during the Goodbye Coffee date, saying that if you're intimidated by something I did 30 years ago, sit down, buckle up, Buttercup. I've done a lot more since then. Boston Marathon. Raised 4 kids on my own after my husband passed away. So anyhow, every guy has a nickname. They're very clever and funny. And I think it's a really enjoyable book. So thank you for your time. It's been my pleasure.